Well, the debate over gun rights in the United States has become a defining political issue in recent election cycles. On the one side, staunch defenders of the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which protects the right to bear arms. On the other, those who are calling for stricter regulations, pointing to cases of mass shootings. And while the issue may not be top of mind for most voters, at least this November, as Toni Waterman reports, it's always in the background.
In America, there are more guns than people. 400 million firearms are thought to be privately owned, making Americans the most armed civilian population on the planet. The right to keep and bear arms is explicitly protected in the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And for gun enthusiasts like Darwin Bedecker, it underpins every other right the country's founding fathers believed Americans were entitled to.
They wanted to tell everybody, hey, speak your mind, make that the First Amendment, and just to make sure that that right is always in place, let's come out with the Second Amendment.
Do you think that right is under threat right now?
100%.
What constitutes under threat is heavily debated. No one is going door to door confiscating guns, but the Biden administration has taken measures to expand background checks and regulate so-called ghost guns, homemade firearm kits bought online that are nearly impossible to trace and are increasingly showing up at crime scenes. Many Democrats, including Kamala Harris, are also calling for a ban on assault weapons, which is why she shocked many with this comment during a recent interview with Oprah.
And I thought that breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes, I hear that.
Harris has repeatedly mentioned that she and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, are gun owners and aren't looking to take away anyone's firearms. But that has brought little comfort to many here, who see guns as a way to fight back against a tyrannical government and as a tool for self-defense. That includes Kyle Rittenhouse, who gained national attention in 2020 when, at the age of 17, he shot and killed two unarmed men during racial justice protests in Wisconsin. A jury acquitted him of all charges a year later, finding that he acted in self-defense. The case, though, became a flashpoint in the highly polarized debate over gun rights in America.
A gun saved my life, and that's very personal to me because if I didn't have that gun, I'd be dead. I think a lot of politicians are trying to take our guns because they want to turn tyrannical and they want to push their own agenda and push their own narrative and strip away our rights.
Former President Donald Trump has pledged to protect gun rights if reelected, despite 2 assassination attempts. He once again has the endorsement of the National Rifle Association, but unlike previous elections, when it wielded significant influence, the organization has been weakened by declining membership and internal scandal, leaving its ability to sway elections and gun policy greatly diminished. But polls show the issue of guns trails far behind others this election year, even as it simmers in the background.
People are very worried that their individual freedoms are going to be taken away, that their liberty, their lifestyle is going to be taken away. The other topic, obviously, is personal safety, because gun violence is the biggest driver in really catastrophic injuries and deaths in the United States.
1 in 5 Americans say a family member of theirs has been killed with a gun, while firearm injuries are now the #1 cause of death for children.
You don't understand it until it happens to you. And
Sophie Page survived a mass shooting when she was 9 years old. A gunman opening fire inside her Tennessee church during a children's musical. 2 people were killed, 6 others injured.
I heard a pop behind me, and I turned, and I was in the pews, and I turned, and there was a man with this enormous gun, and I said, "What's happening?" My mom said, "I don't know." She pulled us under the pew, not before I looked left and did see someone covered in blood. We crawled to the exit while the shooting was still going on, while people were still getting shot.
She says the experience has defined her life, leaving her constantly on edge, especially in public.
How do you
reconcile the idea of gun rights in America with personal rights for people to live, to pursue their dreams, to have happiness?
I think that the way that I reconcile it is like, gun reform is human rights. I've realized that the best we can do while still protecting the Constitution is universal background checks.
Perhaps there is room for a middle ground on one of the most charged and fundamentally American issues. But no matter who wins in November, if recent history is any guide, meaningful gun reform is likely to remain out of reach. Toni Waterman, CNA, Texas.